All right, so lately I've been making a ton of videos on why I think retail dropshipping is still one of the best business models, especially for beginners, for a number of different reasons. Amongst them, the first and foremost, the fact that it doesn't cost you any money to dropship, obviously, right? You don't need to spend money to market your products. You don't need to spend any money on ads. All you're doing is listing to retail websites using suppliers, and you don't have to run any ads or anything like that. You're simply piggybacking off the traffic that is already on these platforms, and you're piggybacking off the built-in buyer base that is already on them to collect sales and profit, right? So there's a number of different platforms you can do this on: TikTok Shop, Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Amazon, Etsy. There's a number of different places that you can do it. Each one is slightly different. And today I want to talk specifically about Poshmark because I think that Poshmark is one of the best places for a lot of beginners to start. Now, typically when I say this, and I've made countless tutorials on this already, so if you want an in-depth tutorial, I will be showing you exactly what I'm doing and how, and running you through a tutorial of how I actually approach it here in this video, so it's totally fine. But if you want more in-depth tutorials, check them out. They are all across this channel. I've done a few recent ones that are like fully updated for this year as well. A lot of people push back and they're like, this guy doesn't actually do this, or they touch on the fact that you might have to package stuff up yourself and drop it off at the post office, and like that there's all this legwork involved and they're lazy and they don't want to do it, or they say that I don't do it, I'm just telling people that they could, right? And so first and foremost, I wanted to touch on the fact that I do this. So here's some proof that I do it. Order complete, order complete, order complete, order complete, order complete, order complete, order complete. Keep scrolling. Order complete, order complete, order complete, order complete, order complete. Keep scrolling. Order complete, order complete, order complete. Keep scrolling. Order complete, order complete. This isn't even into October yet. Like now you're starting to see some stuff here where you're seeing Halloween stuff, right? So like we're not even really into October yet. Order complete, still seeing some Halloween stuff. Order complete, right? So I could literally scroll for hours showing you all the sales that I have on Poshmark specifically. I don't just do this on Poshmark. I do it on every different website, but I wanted to show that to you as proof that yes, I do this. Yes, you can do this. And yes, it is one of the best and easiest ways, not just for beginners, although it is a great method for beginners to do, but also for advanced dropshippers, advanced sellers, or anybody that's looking for like a side hustle or some extra income on the side as well, right? You can realistically scale not just Poshmark, although Poshmark specifically, you probably scale up to multiple thousands of dollars in profit a month relatively fast, right? Right from week one, you can be earning money directly. And it's really easy because all you're doing is spending your sweat equity. Now, I recommend using something like ZDrop. Also List Perfectly. I'm going to touch on List Perfectly towards the end of this tutorial. But ZDrop is a software, if you just go to their website, where it is stupidly cheap. It's like $16 a month, and it's going to copy products, not just from sites like Amazon or eBay to a site like Poshmark, but from a number of different websites to a number of different marketplaces. So here's all the marketplaces that you can copy to. And then as you scroll down, it's going to show you all the different websites that it copies from, right? And what it does is we'll see when you're on a listing here, it's going to pop up with all these buttons here. You can set these settings in the back end of ZDrop, so you can always change them or add some or mark it up a certain percentage with whatever you want. It's very easy to set up. But long story short, it's going to give you all these buttons that allow you to copy things directly to these websites. So if I take this Amazon listing and use ZDrop to copy it directly to Poshmark, it's going to copy the title, it's going to copy the description, it's going to copy the pictures, and it's going to mark the price up, whatever percentage I set it to, automatically for me, right? And then depending on where you're listing, it's going to take 20 seconds, 30 seconds, sometimes a minute. Poshmark is typically the longest one for ZDrop to copy because it has the most things and it has like pictures. So that can be anywhere from like 30 seconds to a minute realistically, but you can still list very, very quickly, right? So let me show you here. All you're going to do is click copy to Poshmark here. If we're copying it to Poshmark and we're dropshipping on Poshmark, then wait for the button to pop up, paste by ZDrop, and then paste it in there. And now it will start to copy this over to Poshmark. As you can see, it's already copied the title, already copied the description, already marked the product up, and it's going to slowly bring in the pictures here as the last thing. Now, why this is so advantageous is because way back in the day, you had to do all this stuff manually. You can still do it that way. It takes a lot more time to do it that way. And this is also stupidly easy to outsource because anybody can click buttons using a software like this. So you can train somebody very easily, like a virtual assistant from the Philippines, for example, to do this for you and then come in here and list a bunch of products. So you don't even have to do it yourself, and it doesn't cost you that much to outsource it either. So as you can see, copy the pictures, copy the title, copy the description. And all you would do is you would go through and then slightly adjust these things, right? So there's a number of different ways to list these products depending on the marketplace. But for Poshmark, typically what I say is you don't want to add any brand names in the title, so delete that out. You don't want anything in the last bullet point of the description. Usually if it's an Amazon product, and you don't just have to copy Amazon products, you can use specific eBay products, Walmart products, Target products, a number of different places. I just used Amazon for most beginners as like an example because it's the best marketplace. It has tens of millions of products, if not hundreds of millions by now. It's got a bunch of different product categories, and it's stupidly easy to get them to your house very quickly because almost everybody has access to Amazon Prime, which will get to your house in 1 to 3 business days in most, locations, right? But typically you'll see at the last bullet point something like that we just deleted, or something like with warranty information or brand information or money back guarantee. Like obviously delete that out of the description. You don't want that. Then the next thing, you just categorize it. Now you might be slow in the beginning if you've never listened to Poshmark, categorizing it for the first 10 to 20 listings, but very quickly you'll get very good at it because it's not very hard to figure out which categories are which and which subcategories are where. And then very quickly you'll get a lot better at categorizing those items, and it won't take you so long. So this is a holiday item. So we're going to scroll back to all categories here, go to home, holiday, and we'll say holiday decor. Multi-item, I always recommend multi-item. I always tell my VA to list it at 10 because you can change it. It doesn't really matter what you list here, but it's the fastest to just add a 0 because 1 is always in there like ahead of time. And you could put it at 5, you could put it at 20. It doesn't really matter. But typically people, when they start putting at 100 or more than that, you don't want to do that because there is a stat on your Poshmark closet that will show how much inventory value you have. And if it looks like you have billions after you're listing like thousands of different products, that's probably going to be a red flag if they ever look into your store. So don't do that. I'd recommend anywhere from like 5 to 10 is a good number. You can always add more quantity as you start to sell, right? Then new with tags, yes, because it's brand new, and now we're going to add it to our boutique. And then you can scroll past all this stuff, the brand, the color, the tags. None of that really matters. And as you can see, it's already marked the price up from whatever it was on the listing, $19 to $35. Now, depending on the marketplace, it's going to differ what you set your markup to be, right? Because on somewhere like Mercari, for example, the fees aren't as high as somewhere like Poshmark, for example, right? So with Poshmark, I typically mark my products up anywhere from 60 to 80%, and then we'll take offers like in anticipation of taking offers or even making offers with our software, all right? And the way that you can change that is just click into Z-Drop, which is this little button up here. Once you download it from their website, you go into settings right here, and then you can set your profit percentage to whatever you want, right? So you can see I literally have it set to 75, and you can set the specific quantity, and all the other settings are literally right here in the back end. And as you scroll down, you can also set all the specific buttons that it pops up on each window, right? Now, you don't want all of them in there if you're not using or copying to all those stores, because then it kind of, every single time you're in Amazon or eBay or Walmart or any of these suppliers' websites, it's going to take a lot longer for listings to pop up because it's popping up and populating with like 100 different buttons all over the place on every different window. And you obviously don't want that if you can avoid it, right? So we're going to list this now. Click next. List the item, and there we go. If you ever get this error right here, it's just because in other info, it's copied the URL, so just delete that. For whatever reason, that's something new that they just put in. You can just delete that out and then skip it, right? And that's how fast it is to list to Poshmark using this software, right? Now let's copy another one, and I'll go through it really quickly to show you. So just click copy to Poshmark. When the button pops up right here, we're gonna paste it in there, paste by Z-Drop, done. And as you can see, it already copied the title, already copied the description, copied everything else in there, and marked the price up to $56, which is a 75% markup from 32. So that's going to account for obviously the Poshmark fees and also mark our price up enough so that we're making money when somebody buys this, right? And again, it's doing all this automatically. Like we don't have to do any of it. And as we scroll back up, there the pictures are, right? Now, as we go through this quickly, delete the brand name out of the title, make sure the last bullet point doesn't have any warranty, brand information, anything like that. It doesn't. We're going to categorize this. Once again, we're going to go back to home, holiday, holiday decor. It's a multi-item because we always want more so that people can continue to reorder it. Add it to our boutique, make it new, skip all that stuff. The price is there. Delete out the other info, URL, and then list it. And that might have taken me realistically 30 seconds to do, if that, right? So for all the people that say it takes too long to list or they push back that they don't have enough time, if that just took me 30 seconds, like do the math. How many do you think you could do if there's 60 minutes in an hour, right? And you really like put the headphones in and actually did it, that means that you could list 120 items in 1 hour realistically, right? Maybe not, maybe let's say 90 or 100, right? To give yourself some leeway every single time. But the benefit of this as well, and I plan on making a full tutorial on this in the future, is you can also add to your bulk list using this website, right? So you don't have to just do it manually every single time. You can just save to the bulk list. There's a button, boom, save to the bulk list. And you can have your virtual assistant do this as well and save to the bulk list. And then what it's going to do is it's going to add all these into your bulk list here on ZDrop. As you can see, it just added all those products there. We had some in there already. And then you can list in bulk to Poshmark or to Mercari or to Facebook Marketplace or wherever, and you don't have to even be there. It will do it all for you so that you can go have lunch or go, whatever it is that you're doing, and then come back and just verify those things very quickly, and it takes even less time. And that's why I love ZDrop. It is so easy, especially for beginners, to use that. And that's why I love ZDrop. It is so easy to use for beginners and takes the guesswork out of everything completely and your time out of the equation. Now, one other way that you can copy products very fast is by using a software like List Perfectly. ZDrop is a great software. It copies, like I said, products from specific websites into these marketplaces, but List Perfectly is a lot faster when you already have products up. So if you're already a reseller, if you're already dropshipping on another platform, if you already have Amazon listings or eBay listings and you have a store there, you definitely want to look into something like List Perfectly because it copies stupidly fast as well. But that ties me into the sponsor of today's video because you also need to know what to list, right? And Zeek Analytics is a great place to find products that are selling well on eBay or Poshmark or any of these places and then list them on your store. And I've been using this for like 5 years to find hot products to list in my stores. So here's a little bit more information about it. Be honest, are you still throwing darts in the dark when it comes to finding winning products? If you're tired of the guessing game, you've got to check out Zeek Analytics. Now, this is the same tool that I use to find viral, high converting products for things like TikTok affiliates and TikTok Shop, Shopify, eBay, and more. Zeek shows you exactly what's trending right now in real time. No more scrolling endlessly or hoping that something's going to work. Their hot picks calendar and trending product alerts are going to help you catch products on the rise before everybody else does. And you can even dig into things like demand, pricing, and competition so you know what's actually worth your time. Oh, and if you want to peek at your competitors, they make it super simple to do that. They've got the store finder and the sales tracker that lets you see what other sellers are crushing it with so you can sell that too. It's like having a dropshipping cheat code, so to speak. And the best part is you can do it all for just $1 today. That's it. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start selling what actually works, click the link in the description below and start your Zeek trial today. So back to the video now. And the other way that you can list very quickly is by using a software like List Perfectly, which is this little green button. List Perfectly, again, if you go to their website, is just a software that's going to copy products from marketplace to marketplace. It's a very valuable software as well. You don't need it, but it can certainly help you as you start to scale list a lot faster. In the beginning, I would just recommend ZDrop. You don't need List Perfectly, but as you start to scale, definitely look into List Perfectly. It will help you sell more a lot faster. Both of them are great softwares that I use and I've been recommending for years now, and I will link both of them in the description with discount codes if I can find them from the companies, all right? So same thing with this. You can see all the marketplaces that it copies to here. You just literally click the button and then copy it to whatever marketplace you want. It also bulk lists as well, or just like ZDrop does too. But let's just show you an example of copying one, and I'll show you how fast it copies listings. In this case, from Facebook Marketplace to Poshmark, extremely fast, right? So you click the little green button, choose the marketplace you want to copy to, let it do its job. There we go. It's going to start copying that product over to Poshmark now. And it's got the pictures already, the title, the description in there. Everything's in there already. The listing price is already marked up, right? So this is $14 from our supplier. I believe that this was an Amazon product and it literally copied that same exact price over. We don't have to do anything because we've already listed it. We do want to change it to multi-item. We don't want it to be just a one item, and then we would list it, right? So that's how fast List Perfectly works. It's a game changer. And again, you can do this in bulk too. So if you wanted to select a bunch of them, you go start selecting, and then you would literally just select all the products. And as an example, if we wanted to take these this time into Mercari, not Poshmark, we would copy them over to Mercari, copy them, and then let it do its job. We'd come back in, since this is 4 listings, it won't take very long. But if we were doing this with like 50 listings, then we'd come back in like a half hour, they'd all be listed there. And then we would just have to verify a few things and click list, right? And that is a stupidly fast way to start listing products from website to website. So you can then profit off the traffic that's already there. Again, you don't need to spend money on marketing. You don't need to run ads or anything like that. It's literally just listing products on these websites and then collecting the sales, right? Now, one more thing while it's listing these, and I'm showing it to you, it copied 2 of them already. It's working on the 3rd already. One of the things that you're going to need to do on Poshmark specifically, because this is a Poshmark tutorial mainly, you need to list obviously fast. The name of the game is listing. But if you're just listing products, you're really going to struggle and you're going to compete with your hand tied behind your back. You also need to be sharing a ton, okay? And in the past, you used to have to share manually all the time, which took forever. And then they started introducing different types of bots where they'd be Chrome extensions. And I recommended Simple Posture for probably like 6-7 years, honestly. Maybe it was like 5-6 years. And then I found something that was a lot better called Posh Sidekick, and that actually lists from your phone, right? So it's an app. I did an entire tutorial on it, but essentially what it does is it shares directly from you. Like you link into your closet using the app called Posh Sidekick, and then it shares for you all day long, right? So you don't have to constantly monitor the Chrome extension. You don't have to constantly share it yourself manually. It will share for you and also make timed offers to likers. So if somebody likes your listing, it will then offer that product to them at a discounted rate that you set, whatever that is. And then that simulates urgency and drives more sales. So it's driving sales for you automatically all day in 2 ways. Timed offers the likers who have shown interest in your specific listing, which drives a ton of sales, but also sharing your listings all day. Because if you're on Poshmark, let's just browse Poshmark as a buyer. You can see it already listed those 4. Just wanted to show that to you. So if you're on Poshmark as a buyer, right? And let's say we're looking for something like white wool gloves. I always use that example, so let's just stick with it. Now, you're seeing all these things suggested to us, but if you look up in the top right, it is not sorted by best price or closest to you or anything else other than just shared typically. Most buyers are automatically set to just share, okay? Especially in the app. And so why that's relevant is that if you've just listed or just shared, Poshmark sees that as the same thing, your items are going to be higher up in search results when people search for that specific product, okay? And that's extremely relevant because that's going to mean more sales for you the more you're sharing your listings. But you don't have time to do it manually. And the best software out there currently that I found is Posh Sidekick. So I highly recommend that you set that up once you actually start listing. It only costs, I think it's like 20 or 30 bucks a month. Well worth it because it will drive hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in sales for you that month. And if you are just listing, you can get sales and make money, right? But if you're listing and sharing, that's when you're really going to start seeing results. So I cannot recommend that enough. I don't even think I have an affiliate link for that. If I do, I'll drop it in the description below. But I do have a full tutorial on how to set that up for those of you that, want to go that route. So I'll also drop that in the description below as well. But yeah, guys, that's proof that Poshmark dropshipping works, that I do it, and it is still one of the best ways to make money for side hustle or, realistically for any dropshipper that wants to make good money from home. It is one of the best businesses that I've found and has been for like 5-6 years now. And I wanted to cover all that in today's video for you. Hope it helps.